Even with the dust still settling from the latest DLC drop, Bandai has already pulled back the curtain to confirm that even more news for Sparking Zero is headed our way this October. And while we are completely in the dark on what specifics are actually locked in, I went ahead and asked you guys what you wanted to see dropped in this update, so let's break down what the community is asking for. This October announcement lines up with the game's 2nd anniversary and the supposed drop of the new Dragon Ball Super Beerus anime, so I can see Beerus tie-in happening here. People are leaning towards the Capsule Corporation map because of this, but Beerus' planet has a much stronger case, I think. If this is rolling out as a direct promotion for the anime, the planet makes way more sense. If they keep true to the setting from the original Super anime, the confrontation with Beerus takes place on a boat, and an ocean map with just a single vessel would just feel lazy. Stages aside, I think Beerus desperately needs something, and a new ultimate could be that for me. I talked about this before, but he feels super underwhelming to me visually. Maybe pull something from his match against the other gods of destruction. Manga moves aren't off the table. Goku Black did something from the manga in his super attack. Now, if this turns into an announcement for a broader wave of DLC packs, the map wishlist opens right up. Capsule Corporation, the Hell Stage from Fusion Reborn, the Xenoverse 6 Tournament Arena, the other World Tournament stages are top priorities in my opinion. For a game that constantly pitches itself as a simulation, missing these locations feels like the game's just incomplete. But if Bandai is going to attach a price tag to them, they need to deliver enough value to actually justify the cost. A lot of you guys want improvements to custom battles, and I couldn't agree more. This mode has the absolute longevity to keep the game alive for years to come. There is tons of fan stories rolling out daily, and the Neo DLC opened the floodgates for even wilder what-ifs. The UI is still an absolute headache to navigate. The clash tables are absolutely broken, and Spike really needs to add more animated cutscenes in there. Giving players the freedom to assign specific super attacks to cutscenes or even trigger a custom Key Blast Clash cutscene would help immensely. I covered everything this mode desperately needed a while back, and I'll drop a link on screen if you want to hear me rant about it more in depth, but a massive quality of life overhaul here is long overdue. Online co-op mode would be amazing to see, and adding it right now would be an ultimate hook to drag players back into the game. PvE, PvP versus PvE, either direction would be dope, but realistically making that happen I feel would require a lot of changes to how the game actually plays, far beyond what Bandai is probably willing to invest here. Even so, I am 100% here for it if they can rework the system to finally weed out endless vanishing wars and super counter spam. Dropping a clash mechanic after a certain number of chained vanishes to reset neutral would open up the field, and with a tweak like that at play, co-op might actually work. If you haven't seen it yet, the Switch ports completely missed out on this DLC, and Nintendo players don't even have a release date yet. It is a genuinely unfortunate situation, but how mad would you guys be if this October update ends up just being a Neo Switch launch date? Characters always dominate the conversation whenever we talk about updates and DLC, and I will always agree with you guys. This roster is already massive, but there's still plenty of room to grow. We still have missing characters like Android 14, 15, and the Tamagami. GT Goten is glaringly absent, along with the rest of the GT characters like General Rildo and Ice Shenron, who I have no idea how he missed this DLC. Now is also a perfect time to dig into the movie henchmen who never made it into a game before. You have the classic cut characters from Tenkaichi 3 that are still hanging around. Now I'm totally on board bringing back more Grey Apes, but Spike needs to rework their mechanics to actually make giants feel menacing. Right now, fighting them doesn't make me feel like I need to lock in. If anything, I use them as a rest spot when facing them in the Limit Breaker mode. So they need some tweaks before we get a flood of new ones. Though I have to ask, would just having the giant models available in custom battles be enough to satisfy some of you? Now overhaul speaking my language here, because Bio Broly is still missing and I think he absolutely needs to get added. I'd gladly take him as a skin, but building out a unique sludge-based moveset would be incredible. Lem is also spot on about wanting manga characters. There is virtually no way we skip them entirely in the future. Once the Galactic Patrol anime drops, I would expect a Moro themed pack featuring Miras and an old Moro, followed by a second pack with 7-3 and young Moro, alongside some of those alternate outfits that they all wear during that time. Yardrat Vegeta, Galactic Patrol Goku. It'd be cool to see Susanoo Goku make it into the game. I could see that being an ultimate for MUI. Hopefully the anime cracks the door open for the other highly requested stuff like Super Saiyan Goku Black and eventually Ultra Ego. That brings up the next question: how would you guys build out a brand new pack of 30 characters for the next DLC? Sticking strictly to anime and manga characters, no heroes, no wild what ifs, I want to see what your ideal roster looks like. Now costumes are another massive talking point for everyone here, and yeah, we are still missing a ton of essential skins. Second Coming Broly still doesn't have his outfit, and I'm going to bring this up forever until it happens. How did everyone else get their movie skins but not the title character? Now I don't think we're going to be getting any more alternate looks for DLC characters. If you bought a new DLC pack but didn't pick up Neo, you wouldn't have access to the full spread of content. Bandai isn't always known for making the smartest decisions, but that's a messy hurdle that they probably would want to avoid. Trunks is still missing a bunch of outfits. His torn jacket from BoJack Unbound is one for sure. And I do agree that they should allow the Super Era characters to wear their classic Z-Hour outfits, and vice versa. A God form Yardrat outfit Goku would be so dope to see. You know what, shout out to my boy Don Coolio, bro, we still missing the winter jackets from the Broly movie. I don't know how we've gone this far without getting them. JDBZ has a really fascinating idea here. A massive Xenoverse crossover for the anniversary would be a crazy cool move. October happens to mark the 10-year anniversary of Xenoverse 2, and if Bandai actually celebrated this in Sparking Zero, this would print money off this community overnight. Now they did this to Gekish and Squadra recently in both Dokkan and Legends, so why can't Sparking get something? Just imagine the possibilities. Zeno Trunks outfit for Z Trunks, alongside villainous, super villainous, and ultra super villain variants. Ultra super villain versions of God, Vegeta, and Gold and Frieza would be amazing. Throw in the Masked Saiyan outfit for Bardock, give us base Final Form Mira, Toa, Few, and maybe even Kranoa. It would be an incredible way to celebrate a decade of Xenoverse before we head into that third installment. It'd also be a good way to flip some opinions back in Bandai's favor. Story mode also got brought up a few times, and dropping a brand new campaign would be an awesome addition. Giving Beerus his own dedicated story mode complete with a full Sparking episode What If route would be a massive win. Although I don't know what they could really do with that. I feel like majority of that will probably be original, because he doesn't really partake in much. Now, as fun it is to theorize, and as much Bandai has pulled off some shocking surprises in the past, keep your expectations glued to the floor. This could easily end up being nothing more than a Switch release date, or worse, a throwaway accessory drop like adding the Oracle Fish to Beerus. If they actually blow us away, I will gladly give them credit, but it's been getting pretty hard to muster any sympathy for modern gaming corporations lately. Anyway, I still want to know what you guys are hoping to see from this update. Do you think Bandai's cooking up something major, or are we staring down a total nothing burger of an announcement? Even if it turns out to be absolute filler, it's always a blast theorizing with you guys. As always, it's been your local overanalyzer Artellings, and I hope you have yourself a damn good one.